Good morning. So today I'm going to discuss the analysis of rigid frames. So rigid joint frames, there will be bending moment will be the predominant factor. So we'll see the analysis of a portal frame first. Consider a portal frame as shown in figure. It's a rigid joint frame. A load is acting 100 kN at the node B. This support A is fixed and support D is hinged because it is shown a circle here. It's hinge support. So, as usual, the first step in analysis by flexibility method is identify the static indeterminacy or redundancy of the structure. So, how will you find out? In the fixed support, there will be three reaction components, a vertical, horizontal and moment 3. On a hinge, there will be a vertical reaction and a horizontal reaction. So, altogether, 3 plus 2, 5 unknowns minus the three equations of equilibrium. For frames, we have to consider all the three equations, sigma V0, sigma H0 and sigma M is equal to 0. So, 5 unknowns minus three equations of equilibrium, static indeterminacy is equal to 2. So, we have to release any two redundants and get the primary structure. Here, I will release these two redundants. The reaction at D, vertical as well as horizontal reactions will be released, or I will remove this hinge. So the second step, release the vertical reaction RVD and RHD, or otherwise I can say remove the hinge at D, so that we will get the primary structure. So the primary structure is a structure after releasing the hinge at D. This is the primary structure A, B, C, D, and the primary structure is having the external load at this node. So the load is acting in the node itself. So this is 100 kilonewton. So this is the primary structure with external load. Now I'll mark the primary structure with the redundants. There are two redundants, RD, vertical reaction and horizontal reaction. I am going to assume here, you can assume any direction. I am going to assume it as R1 and this as R2. So I am going to assume R1 and R2 as the redundants. There is no harm if you assume R1 as upwards also. So this is the primary structure with redundant. Now what is the next step? As in the continuous beam, the third step was to find out the equivalent joint loads and obtain the analysis structure. In this particular case, there is only one load. It is acting at this node itself. So we can, next step is we can split up it into elements. So I will consider it as a 3-element structure. An element AB, say P1 of A, P2 of A. These are the two element coordinates. For the second element BC, so I'll take it as A. I'll take this as B. P1 of B and P2 of B. And then the third element CD, I'll take this end as the first end. So this is P1 of C and this is P2 of C, the third element C. So these are the element coordinates. So in the second step, we have identified the redundants, released the redundants. We have marked the structure with external load. We have marked the structure with redundant. We defined the element coordinates. And there is only one load which is acting at the selected node B. Therefore, there is no equivalent joint load is the same as this one, or this is the analysis structure itself. There is no need to find again the equivalent joint load reverse tester because there is no fixed end moments. There are no loads acting in the element AB or element BC. If there is some load here, that will produce fixed end moments. If there were some load in BC, that will produce fixed end moments. There is only one load. That load is acting in the node itself. So next step is we have to formulate the force transformation matrix. So the third step is you have to develop the force transformation matrix. So for that I have marked the structure, the primary structure with external load P1 is equal to 1. So this load will produce a bending moment 1 into 4, 4. This is a hogging moment. With this pen in this direction, this will produce clockwise moment or tend to bend the beam outward. It's a hogging moment diagram. So from the ordinate to from the base to the ordinate. This is the direction. Similarly, for the second case, now this is for P1 equal to 1. Next, I have to mark it for R1 equal to 1. I have marked R1 in this direction. If R1 is equal to 1, this will not produce any bending moment in this column. It will be subjected only axial force. When this load, with respect to this, it produces an upward moment or produces a hogging moment in this beam. So this is the hogging moment. Similarly, if you consider any point anywhere in this beam, that will be the bending moment will be the same. It's hogging moment. If this is 1 into 4, 4. So everywhere for this column also, right of section, the moment will remain 4. So if this is hogging, this will also be hogging. That is the bending moment diagram with R1 equal to 1. Let us mark the sign. Here it is 0 from the base to the ordinate. Anti-clockwise from the base to the ordinate. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. Next we draw the diagram for R2 is equal to 1. So for the beam, for the frame, fix it here. R2 direction we have assumed this one. This was the direction for R2 which we have assumed. So if R2 is equal to 1, we have a load in this direction, there will be a support reaction here opposite to that. That will be 1. Now with reference to this into this distance 4 meter. So there is 4, a hogging moment. If this is hogging, they are going to balance this. Here also there will be a hogging moment. Here there will be moment 4. Or consider from here onwards, you can consider here the moment is 0, 1 into, for this it will produce an outward moment or hogging moment 1 into 4. So anti-clockwise, clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise. So these are the bending moment diagrams corresponding to P1 equals 1, R1 equals 1, R2 equals 1. Apply one at a time. Now we can write down the transformation matrix. So transformation matrix is, there are 3 elements, P1 of A, P2 of A, P1 of B, P2 of B, P1 of C and P2 of C. Looking to the first, when you apply capital P1 is equal to 1, write down the values. First element, first end, it is minus 4, 0. For all the other elements, it is 0 only. So 0, 0, 0, 0. There is only one external load. So put a dotted line here. Then coming to R1 is equal to 1. When you give R1 equals 1 for the first element, it is minus 4 plus 4. For the second element, minus 4, 0. For the third element, 0, 0. Next, R2 is equal to 1. By giving R2 equals 1 for the first element, it is 0. 4 minus 4 plus 4 minus 4, 0. This into P1 and 2 redundants R1, R2. So this is of the form. This equation is element forces P is equal to the transformation matrix, force transformation into the forces in the structure. So this two portions, this one can be designated as A suffix P, that is the transformation due to external load. This portion is A suffix R, the transformation matrix obtained for redundance. So the remaining steps are the same as we do for the previous examples. So next is step 4, unassembled flexibility matrix. So unassembled flexibility matrix is diagonal arrangement of element flexibility matrices. Here there are 3 elements. All the 3 elements are of the same length and same moment of inertia. So the element flexibility matrix for element A, element B and element C. The element flexibility matrices is L by 6 EI. L is 4 by 6 EI, 2 minus 1 minus 1 2. So let us arrange it. Alpha bar, the unassembled flexibility matrix or the uncoupled flexibility matrix is 4 by 6 EI. Take it outside. 2 minus 1 minus 1 2 for the first element. 2 minus 1 minus 1 2 for the second element. 2 minus 1 minus 1 2 for the third element. Arrange it in a diagonal manner. The remaining elements are 0. So I am not going to write it. I am going to put it dash. So all the other elements are 0. Instead of writing 0, I have not written any elements there. Now what are the next step? Step 5 is different steps are there. We wrote it in a continuous way. FRR, flexibility matrix due to the redundance. FRR is equal to AR transpose alpha bar into AR. So what is AR? Refer back to the previous page. AR transpose is minus 4, 4, minus 4, 0, 0, 0. Then 0, 4, minus 4, 4, minus 4, 0. It is AR transpose. Then alpha bar. 2 minus 1 minus 1 2. 2 minus 1 minus 1 2. 2 minus 1 minus 1 2. Do the multiplication. This AR transpose alpha bar. There is the element 4 by 6 EI outside. So it will be 4 by 6 EI into, it works out to minus 12, 12, minus 8, 4, 0, 0, minus 4, 8, minus 12, 12, minus 8, 4. This is AR transpose alpha bar. Again multiply with AR. AR matrix is minus 4, 0, 4, minus 4, minus 4, minus 4, 0, 4, 0, minus 4, 0, 0. This is AR transpose alpha bar. This is AR. So this is a 2 by 6 matrix. This is a 6 by 2 matrix. So the product is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix and the result is 4 by 6 EI, 128, 96, 96, 160. You see that the flexibility matrix due to an FRR should be always a symmetric matrix and the diagonal element should be positive. Now that's the first step. Second step of that is find out FRP, that is AR transpose alpha bar into AP. So AR transpose alpha bar is already there. They multiply with, so it is 4 by 6 EI minus 12, 12 minus 8, 4, 0, 0, minus 4, 8, minus 12, 12, minus 8, 4. This one multiplied with A suffix P. AP, there is only one column. It is minus 4. Then all other elements were 0. So this is a 2 by 6. The other one is 6 by 1. So we are going to get the result as a 2 by 1 matrix. So it will be 4 by 6 EI, 48, 16. Then next step is FRP into P, the load vector. So here the load is, there is only one load, 100. So 4 by 6 EI, 48, 16 into 100. It will be 4,800, 1,600. And finally, we solve the equation. FRR into R is equal to minus of FRP into P. That is solving this equation. 4 by 6 EI into 128, 96, 96, 160 into R1, R2 is equal to minus of this. So minus of, or 4 by 6 EI into minus 4,800 minus 1,600, and solving this you get R1 and R2. So from the previous step, after the solution we will get the redundant values. R1 is minus 54.54. Means the vertical reaction at D is, we have assumed downward direction, but we are getting a negative answer, means the actual direction is upward. R2 is 22.727 towards left. It is positive, so assumed direction is correct. Now coming to the last step, the bending moment in each element is equal to the fixed end moment plus the element forces. This element forces we can get it from step 3. So get element forces from step 3, and I am going to write here bending moment MAB, MBA, MBC, MCB, MCD and MDC. In this question there were no fixed end moments. Fixed end moment in all the elements were 0. So it is 0, 0 plus this element forces refer to step 3. Take down the, or write down the A matrix. First column, second column, and the third column, 0, 4, minus 4, 4, minus 4, 0. This was the transformation matrix. This into, corresponding to this P1. The P1 is external load 100. Then R1, R2. R1 is minus 54.545 and R2 is 22.727. So the final answer works out to minus 181.82 minus 127.27, 127.27, 90.91 minus 90.910. So see, the equilibrium of joint must be satisfied. If a joint B, one MBA is minus 27, MBC should be plus 127. MCD is 90, MCB is 90, MCD should be minus 90, and the support D was a hinged end, so the moment should be 0. If all the calculations are right, you will get the final answer. Now we have to draw the bending moment diagram based on the result. Based on the result, you draw the frame, and it was hinge A, B, C, D. First one, minus 181.87. That means anti-clockwise. So A to B, it is anti-clockwise. 181.87 kilonewton meter. Second value, minus 127. From here, anti-clockwise. So 127 here, you have to mark. This is 181, this is 127. MBC plus 127, B to C clockwise. So 127 here. MCB 90.91, C to B 90 clockwise. So join this 127 and 90. Other one is minus 90, MCD, C to D anti-clockwise. So 90.91 here. And it is 0. There is no superimposed simply supported diagram because there is no element in this span as well as in this span. So this portion is subjected to hogging, and this area, it is completely sagging. Hatch the diagram. This portion is subjected to hogging. It is also just hogging. This is the final bending moment diagram. So with that, we come to the end of one numerical example on rigid frame. In the next video, we will see another one example. Here there were no external loads acting in the elements. We will see the case of a example when there is a loads acting in the elements, how to obtain the analysis structure. Okay, thank you.